I talked about it on the PCP, or you will hear about it on the PCP if you listen to that. But I'm telling you about it here first, because you're my patrons, you're my money spenders. So for those who need a refresher, at the end of last month, I was getting all depressed because the Tezuka deadline, September 1st, was rearing its head. I had spent 2 months trying to come up with a story, and I only just at the end of July came up with something that I thought was okay. And I hadn't drawn anything. I was thinking to myself, oh, I'll do it, and I didn't fucking do it. And I felt like shit, so I was like, okay, we have to come up with a plan. Have to come up with a plan of how to do this in 1 month. I looked at the Lord of Ghosts. Lord of Ghosts, I made a bunch of 20-page chapters for the first 3 weeks of January or something. I did quite a lot of that. The story for that was already done well in advance. The sketches, similarly, were already done well in advance. So it was just like inking speed, dialogue boxes, shading. That took, for 20 pages, that took about 1 week and a little bit. So if I had 4 weeks, I felt like it was technically possible to get around 50 pages or however many I needed of the comic, because the comic is 55 maximum. If it wasn't 55 maximum, I would have submitted the Lord of Ghosts itself, because I could have done that. But anyway, so it was hypothetically feasible that I could do the entire workload of this comic within this time frame, but I had to structure my time well. I had to really be serious and make sure that I was doing work every single day. And the most effective way I found to do that was to stream my drawing progress. Now, in the past, I had sort of shied away from the idea of streaming, like, a comic. You know, something that I kind of want people to be surprised about when they read for the first time. But for this sort of thing, I decided it's not important. I will just spoil it as I draw it. And really, only like 20 people would have been spoiled on anything, because that was the extent of the people watching. So I'm like, okay, let's stream the progress. Streaming purposes are twofold. One, gives me a rigid schedule that I can easily abide by, because it's like stream time. If I'm on the stream, there's no like, should I take a break for 40 minutes or an hour? Just, it's a work day. 8.5 hours, a little more than 9 to 5, I think. So I was going to stream from 11 a.m. or whenever I woke up. It turns out to be easy enough at 11 a.m. because I wake up around 10. I can have 1 hour to like have a breakfast, and then I go straight into the work. And then to 7:30 p.m., which is around dinner time. And I have a lunch break in the middle, and it's like, that was my plan, and I enacted it. And first week, I was doing sketches, because obviously I didn't have any drawing to work with. I only had vague story beats, vague plot points of like what Clarissa the cowgirl is gonna be doing. What is the conflict? Where is she? I already knew these things, but I didn't know exactly how to show them happening. So I sketched it out, and I didn't really have the time to like go over the sketches and see what I could change. So what I sketched was basically what I ended up making, which is good for time, but is bad for a lot of other reasons. Because, you know, you can refine a sketch or a page to make it as good as possible if you have the time, and it's very, very important to refine your sketches while they're in the sketching phase, because once you go to line art, I've explained this before, I think. I've definitely written it down on a tweet thing that I tweeted out about the modes of productivity, the modes of creation, and there's the thinking state and the working state. If you're thinking, like you are coming up with solutions to problems that you are looking at, and, you know, you're just sort of, it's more mentally taxing than it is physically taxing, which is why sketching it doesn't look good. compared to what you can do when you're trying to make it look good. It's just sort of like, give yourself an idea, a rough estimate of this solution to this problem you're mentally coming up with. You sort of jot it down. It's like, sketch it, blah, blah, blah. And then when you're working, you are physically, muscle memory, you're doing all of the work, but you don't want to think while you're doing that, because it's too much. Having to do line art without any sketch involves a lot of mental thought and a lot of physical, stuff. It's too much. So you gotta have a good sketch, otherwise your line art phase is gonna be fucking dreadful. It's not gonna be bad, necessarily, but it is going to be difficult. And I don't want it to be difficult. And also, if it's difficult, it takes longer. But there was a lot of sketches on the first week that I'm like, I kind of hate this. It sucks. There's not enough, stuff there for me to, really go off of and understand what I was going for. A lot of the times I would, sketch a hand in a blob or a scribble. And when it came to actually drawing, the month. So, I know I don't want to take too much time away from the line art. I need as many weeks and then need 3 or 4 weeks to line it, because there's more than there is in 1 month. And it's, I'm kicking myself this whole time, because I'm like, I should have started drawing earlier, I should have done all this earlier, blah, 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 blah. But, we're here now, we're gonna do it. So I did as much as I could. First week, 55 pages were sketched. Quite good, honestly. But the sketches were, varying levels of detail. But they exist. I knew the layout now, I knew kind of what the dialogue was and how long it would be, and I noticed that the story is not finished that I had in mind. The story that I had in my mind would go on for a few pages more, maybe 20 pages, maybe 30 pages more, far beyond the maximum number of pages I could do. So I had to come up with something to do about this. I had to decide to make a non-finished submission. This basically means that on the rules it said one shot, original story, finished, no drafts, and stuff like that. Basically they want you to finish it. You can't have some pages with sketches only or whatever, so it's just a catch-all for don't send it in if it's not finished. And I was a little worried because I don't know what they expect in terms of a story. Is it okay if it is to be continued? Or should it be this is the end? There should be nothing else that could possibly happen. And I didn't know. But page 50 was a moment in time where it could feasibly end. It would just be a sad, bad ending. And the ending is sort of the low point of the story. Clarissa gets captured. Oh no, she's thrown in prison, in a dungeon. And that's it. That's the end. So obviously it's a unhappy ending. It doesn't resolve the conflict of Clarissa versus the Bandit King. And presumably she's in the dungeon, and because she's a girl and they're guys, there's maybe a little bit of rape going on. I don't know. I don't want to depict that, but they're fucking bandits. I mean, what are you gonna do? Or maybe they just kill her. So it's just a sad ending. You don't want to end with that. She's the hero. She didn't do anything. She just failed. It's obviously it's to be continued. but I didn't label it like that. I just labeled it as the end, right at the end, and hope that they will accept it. I hope that they will say, well, sad ending, but it's a finished work. It's submitted. It's the specifications are all correct. The rules are not broken. All right, we'll judge this, and then I can be judged. And it's like, okay. So that was my idea, and I continued into week 2 with the inking. Now, almost immediately. Oh, by the way, these first 2 weeks were unbearably warm, unbearably hot, heat wave. Most of the time I was completely naked, and dying, and I couldn't stay. I think one of the days I got so overheated that I just had to take a fucking nap in the middle of the stream, have a siesta. It was just like way too hot. And so I think that the heat combined with this overwhelming dread of like, I need to be fast, I need to be inking really fast in order to get this done. And I didn't know how fast I could do it. And because of the heat, I was so slow, and I needed breaks, and I needed to stop. And also my hand was hurting, because I've been drawing so much. I haven't been giving myself enough rest. And it's all sorts of like fucked up situation. So I was naturally like feeling the pressure to get this done, and I was physically unable to get it done in a timely fashion, which was stressing me out. It was a combination of all of that heat and all of that stress and all of that pain, and I just was dead on Tuesday. I was depressed. I felt like nothing was going to work. I felt like everything was, maybe I should just give up. I didn't think I was going to even consider really giving up. I was just talking about it on stream. I'm thinking like, is it really worth it? Like, what do I... But then I said no. Some of the, obviously, people in chat was saying, you can do it, never give up, come on Gib, you can do it. And I was very grateful for them. And it was sort of like, yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I embarrass myself, and I say I was going to do this Tezuka thing, and I failed to do it. It doesn't matter if I am physically unable to get it done in time. I already made this bed for myself by wasting the last 2 months doing fuck all, or fuck not so much, not enough fuck. Actually, I guess fuck all means like too much fuck, not enough other. But yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I do terribly. It doesn't matter if any of these things. All I gotta do is try. So, on Tuesday, I was super depressed. I tried. I got a little bit done. Like a page and a half, 2 pages. I don't know how much I was trying to do, as much as possible. But I think I was basing it off of my speed with the Lord of Ghosts, and I was slower than that. That's just how it was. Yeah, the Lord of Ghosts was a... I don't know whether it was necessarily a simpler to make, like simpler drawing style. Like Clarissa is more humanoid, there are more humanoids in general. The Lord of Ghosts himself is a blob, I can draw him however I like. I think the most taxing thing in The Lord of Ghosts was the backgrounds, which I tried pretty hard to make look interesting and nice. And in the Wild West, there are also good backgrounds you can try and draw. I didn't try very hard for the town, but I tried pretty hard for the mountain, the outside of the mountain, the inside, the dungeon temple thing. Like, I feel like I did pretty well, so like, I think I stepped up my game of drawing, and at first I was slower, and I was like, oh no, this is not going to work. I'm too slow. I'm too slow in order to do this in time. But once I had accepted that it's okay if I fail, I just need to try and do as much as I can. Because regardless of whether I submit this comic, I want to make it. I always have wanted to make this character into a comic that people can read and be like, oh, I like this character, because she's been in my head for a long time. So, this is the time. Just do it, idiot. And, luckily, the end of that week 2, Thursday, it cooled down. The heat was gone. The heat wave had dissipated, and I think it was like rain clouds coming in, and I was like, oh my god, I love rain. I love clouds. I love thunder and lightning. Oh my god, thank you. Cooled everything right down, and I got all pumped up, and I started drawing faster, and by the end of that week, I was on a pace of about 4 inked pages per day. That is, drawing the main stuff, drawing all the lines. I didn't draw the speech bubbles, and I didn't do any shading, but I did all the lines, the backgrounds, the characters. They were all drawn. 4 pages worth of that stuff per day. Could I keep that up? And if I could, when would I be finished? This is when I started strategizing. Now that I have some information to go off of how fast I can work under reasonably ideal conditions, aka not fucking melting in my chair, when it was in reasonable heat and I was focused, how much could I get done in 8.5 hours per day? About 4 pages. So from that point, I realized that if I did 4 pages every day, consistently, every weekday I was streaming, so the weekends I needed to, like, give my hand a rest. If I didn't do that, my hand would have fucking fallen off. But they were always there, like, if I absolutely needed extra days, I could use the weekends. So, 4 pages per day seemed to be finished on Wednesday of the 4th week, very near the end, which would give me Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to finish the whole comic and submit it before the deadline. So I was like, okay, after I'd done all the line art, the only thing left to do is the dialogue, speech bubbles, potentially doing the shading, and anything else I think I might need. And that's basically what happened. After that terribly sad point, it was really just like chugging along. And the stream, it was hype. Everyone who came to the stream, I love you. They had lots of fun. There was, like, regulars that would come in all the time. They would say, hell yeah. They would talk about Clarissa's tits and ass, and I would be like, yeah, you know what, yes. And there was fan art drawn of Clarissa, lewd Clarissa, also, and I put all of this up on the screen, encroaching slowly on the screen real estate. Slowly the fan art took over the screen, and that was fun. People subscribed, people gave bits. I had a thing in the stream, in the Twitch stream, where, like, if I got a certain number of subscribers, I would get another emote slot for forever. Because I've always only had one emote if you subscribe, which is shit. It's like, sucks, you know, like every cool guy has like 70 emotes. So now I have 3. I have the Gibbon, I have my face, laughing with a beard. I have the Gibbon take, pog, like, whoa, blah, and I have little red man face. And, yeah. That's epic. So week 3, we're going. This is momentum week. I'm chugging along, the stream is hype, people are loving it, people are inspired by my ability to continue working, even though I keep saying I suck, but, you know, that's just part of the artistic experience, is to say you suck to yourself over and over again, and then continue to work anyway. There was a thing, though, where I got, like, a weird heart problem, and it wasn't caused by the work, I don't think, maybe it was, but, it was due to, I figured out, due to lack of exercise. And I'm like, well, that makes sense. I don't do any. So I had to start doing exercise. And I did some, and it sort of went away. So, good job. It was like a higher than normal resting heart rate. And regular exercises brought it down. So, that was a little bit scary for a little while. I thought that if I got like a big problem and that I had to stop streaming, I wouldn't have done it in time, and that would have sucked. But it didn't suck. And in fact, I was still productive the entire time. I never dropped below 4 pages per day. Some days I did 5, 6 pages a day. Actually, I think one of the days I did, like, almost 4. No, actually, I think every day I got right to the end and I thought, I'm probably not going to get the 4th page done, and then I managed to do it. I think there was maybe one time when I almost managed to do it, but didn't quite manage. And then the next day I had to, like, draw a few lines on one panel, and then it was over. So it was, like, basically done. Anyway, I was chugging along. It was epic. And now I was doing regular exercise in the morning on some of these days before breakfast. So I would wake up, like, I don't know, 10, and I would have an hour to get ready. It's not really enough time, but I felt like I needed to do it, so I would exercise for like 15-20 minutes, go get breakfast, eat breakfast, then come back up, and then sit at the thing and press start streaming, and I'm like, because I'm tired from exercising, but you gotta do it. And, ultimately I think it was a good idea. I was always a little, like, shaky at the beginning of a stream, because I just don't wake up early. And I had to get used to going to bed earlier as well. It was a whole thing, but, it was worth it. It was all worth it, because week 4, it was right at the end, the finish line was in sight, and I was ahead of schedule by, like, a couple pages of the inking. I finished it almost entirely on the Tuesday, and on the Wednesday, I needed to do a little bit of one page, and then it was done. And then on Wednesday, I started the dialogue, I think. I did the dialogue, which took longer than I thought, because I was thinking maybe I could use, like, the circle tool, the oval tool, to make all the speech bubbles, but it turns out that they just look bad when you do that. I don't want them to look bad. I know that it takes longer to, like, draw them manually, but it feels so much more gooder, and I don't know how to explain it other than it just is gooder. Something about the way that it's like a non-uniform line that you could tell is, like, hand-drawn, not computer-generated noise. It's a circle, but it's not perfect, and that's why it's good. If it were a perfect circle, it would look weird, it would look at odds with all of my other line art, which is not perfect. I don't draw straight lines. I don't draw perfect curves. I draw badly. So I need the speech bubbles to also look bad, so that they can fit in. And so, I did all that. There was a few places where the dialogue, because I hadn't written any of the dialogue before I started, was made up as I sketched, and it wasn't good a lot of the time. Some of it was really cheesy, some of it sucks, some of it still sucks, but I tried to make it better, and there were a few moments where I'm, like, sitting there, like, I don't know how to fucking change this dialogue so that it doesn't suck, because right now the line art is in place. I can't change the dialogue so much that it makes the panel pointless, or not make sense. It has to be the same point that the dialogue speech bubble had initially, but just maybe wording it differently. It was a little bit of rearranging to do. Oh, before I did the dialogue, actually, I think on Wednesday it was mostly flipping the pages. Because, alright, here's another thing. The Tezuka Awards ask that you make the thing open to the right, meaning it reads from right to left, like a Japanese manga. That's how they do it. It's a Japanese competition. I read the rules, so I knew this going in, but I was so... I didn't believe that I could do it at first, so I didn't bother to, like, draw as if it would read right to left. I drew it as if it read left to right, thinking that I would just put it on my website and I wouldn't get it to the contest and it doesn't matter. But it turns out that I could get it done, So now I had to think, how do I make it read right to left? This is before I added the dialogue, I started doing this. And I thought I could mirror the pages, because there's an easy, like, you press like H or something to mirror the page. And if it's just the line art, as long as it flows well from left to right, in terms of like page reading, it should flow equally well from right to left. And quite a lot of the pages that was absolutely true for. Some of the pages, though, my initial drawing for reading left to right worked better if you read it right to left. So I had to keep some panels the right way around, and then flip other panels. So that made it a lot more difficult in certain places. Didn't take so long. I think I did everything on Wednesday. And then on Thursday and Friday I did the dialogue boxes. But yeah, by the end of Friday, I had finished all the dialogue. It had been perfectly flipped to be right to left. I was very happy with the way it looked. The only thing left to do was potentially to shade it in. There was a few panels I decided I was going to make shaded for dramatic lighting reasons, and I just didn't have the energy. I streamed, I think that was, what date was that? What was the date? Friday the 28th. So on the 29th, I was like, now let's just finish it up, clean it, and then submit it on Saturday. That was my plan. I was gonna Saturday submit, like big hype stream. I got like 32 viewers at one point. It was bigger than it ever been. Everyone was going, whoa, Pog. And basically 29th, Saturday, I was just going over every page, cleaning it up, and then saving a PNG as the final image for each page. And I went through all of them, and it took like 6 hours, but they were all done. I uploaded them, and I was like, I could add shading, but that would take a whole other fucking day or two. And I am already, like, this is 5 days of a week, plus the first day of the weekend, straight work. I am dead. I am not doing anymore. I can't. I'm done. It's gonna be uploaded, and that's that. And I feel like I earned that sort of indulgence in rest. I do feel a little bad, though, because the bit of shading I did do sort of makes the unshaded pages stand out more as, like, unshaded. Like, where's the shadow? Why is there a shadow here and not anywhere else? It's like, fuck, it sucks now, doesn't it? I ruined it. But, well, you know, yes. But I can always go back and shade it for the giveandtake.site when I upload it and all that. So I submitted it. I also had the option to make it payable. So, like, you can buy it, you can have it as a purchase on this site, this Medibang site. I was like, sure, fuck it. I want money. That's nice. Like, why wouldn't I make a little bit of money off of all this work I've done? Sure, like, not all of the public will be able to read all of it, but that's fine. I'm sure people would be happy if they paid the money to see it, and people did, who I don't know, paid the money, who just saw it on the site, and they just said in the comments, like, good thing, buy it. I'm like, wow. I don't know whether that was a fan of mine, or whether that was just a person on the site who read it after buying it, and was like, yeah, good purchase. So I'm like, it's only 420 yen, which is around fucking £3, $3.99, like something like that. And I've made like 12 quid off it so far. Maybe some more, I haven't checked today. But yeah, like only 4 purchases, and it's like 12 quid. You know what? That's good. I enjoy that. And Medibang doesn't take any proceeds. They just collect the money and give it to you. So I'm like, yes please. Yes please indeed. I will definitely capitalize on that. But I will upload it for free on my site when I've finished part 2, which is the rest of the thing that I didn't get to do. For the contest, 50 pages is all I could put. I could put 55, but it would have been, like, in the middle of another conversation later on. So I'm like, 55 pages. 50 pages, sorry. That's part 1. Part 2 is the rest. I am thinking of streaming in September to finish the rest. I'm not going to stream quite as long, and I'm not going to stream for as many days, but I am going to stream for almost as many days, like 4 days a week, with the Wednesday cut out, because Wednesday weekend, like 2 days in a row of work, day of rest, 2 days in a row of work, and then weekend off.
It needs to be about 20% cooler.
I feel like that's like a more sustainable, like I could do that for many months. I could continually do that forever, in fact. Streaming my comic progress. I mean, why not? It's an internet age. You don't need to be secretive anymore. Nothing's secretive. Everything's out there. Just stream the comic progress. What if Hussey, while he was doing Homestuck, he streamed making Homestuck, and then people in the chat said, "Oh, do this, do that," instead of it being on a forum. It's just another, like, future of the internet. The internet's different. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can make fucking... Imagine if Oda had One Piece, like, sketched on his, like, live stream. People could look at what he was drawing, be like, "Oh, wow." People would fucking love that. And you know what? The only argument I can see is that it diminishes the excitement of reading it all finished. But you can easily just not pay attention to the live stream, and most people don't, so I could probably just do that. So, yeah, there's that. And, yeah. Clarissa, done. I did it. I am the king. The queen, I should say, because next topic, girl shit. Girl stuff? Girl things? What? Huh? High voice? Huh? Eh? So, strange to think that this is, like, almost entirely all happened in August as well. I feel like it's been going on for longer. I mean, it has internally been going on for much longer. It's been going on since Radcon 4. And, this idea that, what gender am I?
It needs to be about 20% cooler.
So yeah, I'm gender weird now. I don't know what label to use, so I will use gender weird, because I don't understand it either. So how best to go about explaining this? So at some point, I think I tweeted out, "Hey guys, try, preferred pronouns, like, I don't know what I prefer, so try female pronouns, maybe I'd like those more."
I'd like to be
And people said, okay. They're very respectful about it. That was nice. And it was sort of the start of me being more public about these things I was thinking. Because I'd been thinking them, obviously, by myself. I've been talking to a counselor about them. And I've been speaking to very specific people in very specific discords where it's okay to talk about this sort of stuff. But I've not gone any publicness with it. And so I'm sort of publicly gender confused now. I go by she, her pronouns, because when people use them, it makes me feel good, and it makes me feel really happy, and really gay, and like, hee hee. So, clearly it's something nice, and I like it. It's always weird to think, like, I just flat out enjoy when somebody does that to me. When they say a female pronoun deliberately because I've asked for them, like they're talking about me to someone else in chat or something. It's like, what's going on? Oh, she's like I go during the stream, I would go for lunch and then I'm back and she said, "She's back. Pog," like something like that. I don't know. I don't think that literally happened, but stuff like that. It just makes me feel all good and stuff. And I'm wondering, like, if I were, completely cis normal, would that affect me in the same way? It's hard to tell because I'm only have my own experience. But like, is it a normal thing or an abnormal thing to be feeling happy when somebody calls you something that you've asked them to call you? Because like I was wondering, is it an indication that I am trans, or like secretly would want to be a girl, or is it just me being happy that people are respecting my wishes? It's a complicated issue. I don't really know how to explain what I'm going through in a succinct way, and I don't want to get too deep into like psychological stuff, but that's just what's going on right now, is that I am feeling pretty faggy, for lack of a better term. There are better terms, what am I talking about? But that's the feeling, right? When growing up as a boy, it's always been, you can't do girl stuff, that's gay. You can't do fag shit. You know, how embarrassing that you would do something girly. And I've always been like, yeah, fucking embarrassing. But then, you know, I got into My Little Pony. I've always loved Powerpuff Girls, and you know, everyone loves Powerpuff Girls. You know, you don't have to be a girly person to like that. In fact, you know, it's like kind of, you know, for all people, sort of like everyone likes Powerpuff Girls. And it's like, on the one hand, it's kind of true. You can be completely cis and have no gender weirdness at all and enjoy Powerpuff Girls because it's just a good show. Same with My Little Pony. So I don't know how much of my enjoyment in these things and other feminine things is due to me having a gender thing to do with myself, gender weirdness, or whether that is just totally normal for just people. You know, I can look back and think of things that may have influenced my desire to be more feminine or be seen as more feminine and whatever. And I don't know whether that's like proof, and I don't even know whether I'm supposed to be looking for proof or not. I feel like I just want to connect the dots and be like, I see, this is why. Because I can't, in confidence, say, this is why I feel like I want to have female pronouns. I can't explain it, because there could be a situation where somebody else who is just like me, who likes the same things that I do in the same way, but is perfectly happy being masculine and male, and is no problem at all. So I don't get it. I don't understand, but it's fine. Yeah, I don't think I need to understand. All I need to know is that it makes me feel good, so I'm just going to continue using the female pronouns because I want to. Now, I'm pretty sure most people in my audience are not, like, TERFs or like, anti-SJW types. I'm pretty sure. But in case anyone is, please have an open mind. That's all. This is not like, you know... Like, I know a lot of people who criticize things of this nature. They criticize them on the basis of, like, I'm looking out for you. Do you realize how this could fuck your life up? Do you realize that there's a higher level, like a suicide rate of trans people? You shouldn't do this because of these reasons. Do you know how fucked up the surgery is? Do you know that, blah blah blah? You know, you're falling down a dark path, you're bare. And I'm like, I see that they're saying these things, but I can't help but feel like they're not being genuine. I feel like it comes more from an emotional place of, ew, gross. Like, ew, gross, I don't like this. I want you to stop being this thing. And then they go and find information that they can use as ammunition to bolster that ew, gross, stop sort of argument. Like, yes, surgery is pretty fucked. And suicide rates are high. But just saying suicide rates are high doesn't necessarily mean that transitioning equals suicide rates are high. It may be that people who transition are ostracized, bullied, and, you know, maybe even attacked, which causes them to commit suicide. You know, it's not as simple as the way people explain it. And I'm like, I don't really feel like arguing with people or like trying to defend myself. I'm not like every other person that you could think of in this trans situation. Obviously, in a large enough group, there are people who are making bad decisions. And what those bad decisions are depends on your personal point of view. And I don't know. I feel like that I'm not doing anything wrong, and a lot of other people aren't doing anything wrong either. I don't know why I'm trying to defend myself. Nobody is in my audience, like, going to say, oh my god, Gib, you're a fucking... you shouldn't do this, this is bad. Girl is girl and boy is boy. You can't be different, you can't have different pronoun. I hate you. Like, no one. There's no one like that in my audience. If they are, they've never said anything, so I don't know why I'm trying to defend myself. I just feel compelled, I guess, because it's like, it's a big controversial thing. And it's sort of, it goes in line with, like, my gender confusion, because it's like, I don't know whether I would consider myself trans. I don't feel like I want to become a female, necessarily, in any sort of physical way, except it would be cool if I had tits. Whew. Hell yeah. But, like, you know what? Forget everything I said. Just think of this as the ramblings of a mad woman. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's right to say. I feel like there's always something wrong to say, and never anything right to say, so I don't know what to do. It's a scary world that will kill you with no hesitation, regardless of where you stand on any issue. So it's so I'm gonna leave that to the experts. I ain't smart. I'm not smart. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what I say. But here's some things about girl stuff that I've been thinking about. So, the one hand is that Radcon 4, I dressed up as a girl, and I shaved as much body hair as I fucking could for that role. That we were filming. We were supposed to be sexy anime girls. So we went to the store to get some swimsuits for people who didn't have them already. And I bought these bra pad things that you put in your bra to make them look bigger. And I bought them, and I added them to my swimsuit, and it felt really good. Felt so fucking cool. I felt like I was sexy, and I was. People kept saying that I looked like a girl, and I was, wow. And it was you know, it was pretty good. And so, based on that experience at Radcon 4, I've been experimenting with secret girl clothing. I hope no one can hear me. So I bought a dress. I bought some wigs. I bought some long socks and some tights and another dress. And I'm putting them on occasionally in my room by myself. And it's pretty cool. That's it. There's other things. I don't know what I don't know how to explain what I'm going through right now.
It needs to be about 20% cooler.
It feels like any possible way I could do it is like the worst possible way to explain this. Maybe it's unexplainable, but I thought I'd just let people know, because if I'm talking about it publicly anywhere, the Money Spenders podcast is the place where I'd like it to be the most public, if you know what I mean, the most information, so that people feel like when they spend the money, they get the info. And this is the info, as stupid as it is. So there's a dress. I got like a pink wig and a yellow dress and a bra and some big old fake silicone breasts. And they're huge. They're big. They weigh like a fucking kilogram each. They're like double G cups. Look, I'm a big booby boy or a big booby girl. Yeah, shut up. Don't look at me like that. It was cool, alright? I cosplayed as Busty Fluttershy, and it was the basest thing I've ever felt or done in my life. Would I ever show anyone? No. I'm scared shitless of people seeing me. But yeah, there's that stuff, there's the clothing, there's leg shaving, there's body hair getting rid of. I've learned that in order to not kill yourself, you need to shave in the bath. That is the safest way to not cut all over the place. Use a lot of shaving foam, be in the bath, shave it, and you shave it. Don't shave your nuts unless you're very confident. I was confident the first time, and I did it perfectly, but I'm scared of doing it again, because who knows what could happen. What am I talking? Why am I saying all of this? Alright. I guess I'm just sort of inviting people to comment if they have any of this understanding of this experience, if they are confused and want to ask questions that I could answer. I just want to let people know that these are the things that I'm going through, and if they have any advice or any questions, they can come at me, and I will take it all on board. And it was so weird, like, going through all of this whilst I was fucking working my fucking butt off all August. It was a very, like, turbulent time. And I was trying to, like, do things in between working, like voice feminization. I looked up a lot of videos on how to do this, and there was, like, exercises you could do, and I keep forgetting to do them, but it's like, you have to train your muscle first, your larynx or whatever, so that it can stay up high, and then you have to learn to talk while it's up high, and eventually your muscle memory will keep it up there automatically when you're talking. Obviously, right now, I'm still, like, talking naturally masculine, low pitch, and if I don't know how to try. I really don't know how to try. It's so embarrassing. It's like trying to do a voice. So if somebody says do an accent, I'm like, I don't want to do an accent. I can't do it. I won't do it. It's the same thing. I can't do it on fucking voice recording. No. So there's that. There's voice feminization. There's hormone replacement therapy, HRT. I looked into this just to see what it can do and how expensive it is. I don't think I have, like, body dysphoria. I don't think I am unhappy with the way my body is, aside from the fact that I need to lose a tiny bit of weight and I need to exercise a bit more. I don't have, like... I mean, I don't like that I have hair that grows out of my fucking face. I prefer that to never happen. But I don't feel dysphoric in the sense that it causes me stress. You know, I look at myself and I'm like, I gotta shave. But I don't think, I hate myself, I need this fucking gone. So it's like, HRT probably not what I'm gonna go for, unless... Well, that's the thing, I was looking into it to see whether it was worth doing if I only sort of needed it or wanted it. And it turns out that, you know, all the benefits and the drawbacks laid out. Certain things are irreversible, some things are reversible. It seems like a good idea because, like, your hairline grows back and you grow a boobie or two. And your body hair is, like, softer and easier to shave. The hair from your face goes away. It's just that, like, your penis could also shrink. Obviously, testicles, like, sperm count, like, goes down. Like, I don't really know whether I want to do that. Can I have the you know, smooth skin and more hair and boobs without getting rid of my dick? Don't know. Don't really think that's possible, sir, madam. I keep mixing up, like, my own pronouns. I know I've been told that's quite normal because I'm used to it. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, I still look like a guy. I don't feel like I look enough like a woman to feel like a woman, which is why I've been buying the dresses. I need to buy a skirt. I need to buy a skirt now. That's what I need. That's what I need. But yeah, HRT, it's a probably too bad. because it's like expensive and or takes a long time to get, and you need to really be getting it early on in life so that, you know, so that you don't so that your body isn't changed too much by your testosterone or whatever hormone you're born with. But yeah, there's ways to like change your physical appearance without taking it. I don't know whether I will or won't. I feel like the expense is something I could do without, but if I really feel like I'm doing everything I can to look the way I want to, and I still don't look good enough, then I probably might think about it. It's weird that I still don't consider myself trans when I'm thinking about all of these things. Like, maybe I could be non-binary. And I think a lot of people stay in the non-binary state for a while to figure themselves out. That's what I'm doing right now. Maybe it'll turn out that being trans is exactly what I want, and I'm gonna say, I'm trans now. Or it could be that I stay in this state for years and years, and I never really make a decision, which is also fine, because a lot of gender stuff is, like, you can do whatever you like. Having long hair, having short hair, having a beard or not a beard, it's all a matter of, like, personal upkeep, personal this and that. You know, I don't need to biologically change my physical chemical makeup hormone ways in order to stop my beard growing. I can just regularly shave it all the time if I really want to. I can shave my legs. I can wear female clothing. It's not a problem necessarily, and I can feminize my voice. I want to do that. Oh, and there's another thing: exercise. I didn't mention this, but the exercise that I was starting to do, aside from like bike ride, we got like an exercise bike, so I can use that for cardio. But the exercise that I have been doing alongside that is squats and leg lunges and stuff to grow my butt, to make a big butt, because that is what I would like. Any fitness people out there know how to do that? I've looked at some videos. I know that I need a certain amount of protein intake in order to build the muscle, and I'm not getting enough of that because I don't eat a lot in general. So I'm like, should I get protein powder or protein bars? Probably not. I think I feel it's the better way to do it is to just get actual meat, right? Meat and eggs and beans. So I just eat more of that. But, you know, wow, whatever. I could figure that out. I can learn to cook for that reason. I think I would prefer to have a set of meals that I need to cook for myself, because that is learning to cook and getting good protein for the booty workout, instead of just purchasing some pre-made protein crap that is very expensive and doesn't teach me how to cook at all. Maybe it would be more more easy, but like I feel like
It needs to be about 20%
I'm not
cooler.
like needing so much protein. Like I don't want to build up my arm muscles. I just need to build up my butt, and that's what I'm. That's it. I don't want any other muscles. No muscles, just butt. That's all I want. I want to be a stick figure with a big round butt. So yes, girl things. Girl things. One of these days, I will be speaking like a lady, speaking like a gib. And you all are gonna be like, oh, I hate this, it sucks. Or it's great, or based. I don't know. Alright, I've talked about that enough. You know how confusing it is. You're smart. You know that I'm stupid and that it's just I'm working through it, and there's no shut up, Gib, you idiot. Alright, moving on. There's a few little things I want to talk about, what I want to do in the future. I've talked already about future plans for Clarissa Part 2 in September. I'm going to do Clarissa, finish the comic in September. Once that story is finished, I'm going to do it all up, nice and sweet and juicy, and then I'm going to put that on gibandtake.site for free. And also on Medibang. You know, why not? once that is done, there's a few things to do, and I don't know which one I want to do first, but here's just a list of them. There's the Bale Jape book. Making a book out of Bale Jape will be a very time-intensive endeavor, but very cool, and I can't wait to try and do it. I definitely want to make it. I know a lot of people are interested in buying it, so as long as I can keep the price down, that will be a Kickstarted project for the future. Making the book, for the moment, is just figuring out what the PDF of all of the pages, which will take fucking forever. But, I can do that. That's doable. That's a project. Then, there's Lord of Ghosts Act 3. Because Slime and Punishment is now over, and the Lord of Ghosts Act 3 was sort of not exactly predicated on that being concluded, but I wanted to, combine them a little bit. Now that Slime and Punishment is over, I can use the lore that exists to have Lord of Ghosts come back to Endless War and something can happen. So I can now build the story for Act 3. I probably won't stream me writing it, because that's weird. People can just, I'd be very easily distracted by things people are writing, typing in chat. But there's that, and then obviously I'd need to sketch and draw Act 3, and then Act 3 will be done, and Lord of Ghosts will be finished. So that's a cool thing. And then I also have the big character. Literally, her name is Big. She's really big. She's 9 feet tall. She's got big boobies. She's thick, and she's got a big smirk. She likes smirking at people. Be like, you like what you see? Like that sort of a character. I've made her to be the not safe for work character that I will use in my new upcoming Twitter account, not safe for work Gib, or whatever the fuck I call it. And I want to, get better at drawing not safe for work characters, just because I've always liked it, but I've always been embarrassed, and I feel like there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Just do whatever you want, Talk about your girl ambitions, draw not safe for work content. There is no pride that you can lose, because pride doesn't exist. It doesn't matter. Just do whatever. Anyone who likes it will like it, and anyone who doesn't like it will not like it. That's always how it's always been. Do what you want. So I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to make a Not Safe for Work Twitter account, and I'm going to learn and practice drawing sexy characters that are actually sexy. And I'm going to put them online, and then when November comes, I'm going to fucking destroy everybody. I'm going to have the hottest girls. It feels so weird to say. I'm gonna draw the hottest girls, and they're gonna be so hot. You're gonna get a boner, maybe. Look, it's a new frontier. It's a new Gib. It's a new month. It's new. Also, I had another idea for a whole comic saga off the top of my head the other day, and I'm like, great, another cool character with another saga with another comic that will eventually meet Pumpkin, Clarissa, and everyone. Good. Actually good. I like it. So, that is the future. The future is comics. The future is not safe for work. The future is cool. The future is Girl Gib. The future is, based, I guess. Thank you for spending money on me. I hope this podcast is good. I hope it's enlightening and interesting, and I hope you enjoy and continue to support the comics that I make. I love you. Thank you. This has been a good month. It's been a very happy month, a very productive month. I mean, aside from the times where I was unhappy and not productive, but that I kept at it. It's a real inspiring story that I kept at it. And I have all of the streams saved, so that I could eventually maybe make a commentary or a speed drawing of Clarissa. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what I will do? I just have the footage. So yeah. Go check out the Clarissa comic when I put it on giveandtake.site, or check out the streams at twitch.tv/giveandtake if you haven't been looking at those. Follow along on September. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And yeah, thanks for everything. This is good. This is looking up, looking forward. Bye.
life do you deserve? Among the many conflicts and teachings of Agretzko, this is the question which has weighed heaviest on my mind. I've watched the series a few times over the past couple of years, and always admired how expertly the writers have managed to balance the adorable aesthetic and witty comedy of anthropomorphic Sanrio characters alongside the crushing despair of modern working life, the feeling of emptiness seeing our efforts making so little impact. And yet, the way Agretzko manages to both entertain adult audiences while also giving them hope through its many lessons is quite inspiring. I suppose I've had a soft spot for cartoons which look and feel as though they are meant for younger audiences and yet hold far more depth and maturity than anyone would realize at first glance. And whilst I've certainly praised its first 2 seasons, the latest episodes of Agretzko have hit me far more than I could have ever expected, almost from the very beginning. After a hilarious opening sequence about a VR boyfriend which had me bust a gut with laughter, Agretzko hits us with a very harsh view of her own potential. I'm no one special in the grand scheme of things. It's time that I live with my feet on the ground. I know I'm just okay. I can't get greedy. In the end, a boring life is all that I deserve. Now, we as the audience know very well that Agretzko has both talent and potential, but at this point in the story, she's unable to see it within herself. Having been beaten down by life in so many ways, even to the point of seeking out a virtual boyfriend fantasy as just something to fill the gaping hole in her heart. Willing to put aside any dreams she had and seek fulfillment in just being content with what she's already achieved. It takes an unfortunate set of circumstances, putting her in a dire situation she feels she has no choice but to pursue, that starts her on the road to recovery. But again, Agretzko feels that she isn't worth much. Now working with a producer and some as of yet widely unknown idol singers, they're able to easily pick up on Agretzko's more passive nature. Building upon the premise established in the first episode, I'm no one special in the grand scheme of things, none of them even refer to Agretzko by name, instead using terms like numbers girl. But when Agretzko seeks advice from Washimi, we're given the first of many excellent lessons of Season 3. Of course you don't know what to do. You're not putting any thought into this. That's why this producer fellow looks down on you. The job is hard, you're not quitting, so what's next? You have to change your circumstances. Tell me the truth. Have you given it your all? Seeing Agretzko feel as though she's trapped with no way out struck a deep chord with me, as I'm sure it did for many of you out there as well. No clear way to get ahead in life, knowing that quitting will make your circumstances even worse. It becomes so easy to give in to despair and apathy. Like Agretzko, we may just accept our lot in life, hoping that some outside force may come along to improve our situation. But I really have to give credit to the writing here, as both Agretzko and the audience is given a very worthwhile solution. You shouldn't rely solely on some person or opportunity to come along and fix your circumstances. You want your life to change? Think it out. It will be difficult to find some new perspective or angle you haven't noticed before. It will take more time and effort than you might be willing to give at first. But honestly ask yourself, are you giving it your all? I have to admire Agretzko's response here. I'll try my best. I mean, do my best. She devotes herself to raising money in any way possible. She proves herself valuable to both the producer and the idol group. And by putting aside even just a bit of her more passive nature, she begins to find success. With another piece of excellent writing, it is only after this point that she is no longer simply called Numbers Girl. From here on, she is Retsuko again. She's taken her first step out of the mindset of, I'm no one special in the grand scheme of things. And this would have been a fairly satisfying conclusion to another chapter in Retsuko's story. But the writers keep taking things one step further. In the early episodes, it's established that both Anai and Gori have started side projects harnessing their hobbies into additional income. In fact, I think it's rather brilliant how Gori's dating app was actually built up into a significant plot point in the final episode. But with these early elements hinting at things to come, we're given the next step of how Retsuko can see herself as worthwhile. From the beginning of the series, a big part of what made a character like Retsuko stand out was how she vented her daily frustrations into death metal karaoke. Something she'd only do in privacy, maybe in front of her closest friends. The very idea of showing this side of herself in front of a crowd is quite terrifying to her. Once again, though, she's being encouraged by others to step up, take more control over her circumstances, which is followed by another piece of excellent writing. The character of Manaka is really meant to be unlikable at first. Haughty, shallow, and quite full of herself. But much like the Agretsuko series as a whole, I've really admired how so many characters are given so much more depth to both their personalities and motivations with every passing episode. And sometimes the more direct method is just what we need to find courage. You're one of those girls, huh? You've got an excuse for everything you do. Meanwhile, you're not woman enough to stand up for your own dreams. I know which one of us I'd rather be. Harsh words, certainly. But it all goes back to Retsuko's similarly harsh words at the beginning of the season. In the end, a boring life is all that I deserve. Agretsuko as a series has always been very good at challenging the audience's notions about their circumstances. What is worth pursuing? And here in Season 3, what life do you deserve? The writers are very careful about not skipping over just how much of a risk Retsuko is making with each of her decisions, even when others show complete confidence in her talents. In the end, she always has a choice. And given her more passive nature in front of others throughout the series, the very idea of putting her death metal voice in front of an audience, not knowing how they will judge what she holds most dear, it's a scary concept, and one which hit me in a very personal way. For much of my life, I've had family and friends tell me that I should do something with my voice, that I could entertain or even uplift an audience with how I speak. For the longest time, I simply couldn't overcome that fear of performing. By getting on a stage or on the radio or on TV, I'd be compared with countless others who came before me and judged as not good enough to merit attention. No amount of encouragement or opportunities that came my way would make a difference, unless I was willing to accept even just the possibility that maybe I could do more. Maybe I could be more. Like so many of you out there, I've been where Retsuko was. I'm no one special. I'm just okay. I should be happy with what I've been given already. This is what I deserve. But several years ago, I began to wonder, Am I willing to change my circumstances? Have I really given it my all? Will I end up coasting through life on excuses? Or did I stand up for my dreams? If I'm being honest, I will always be grateful for deciding to take that risk. Putting my voice out on YouTube despite all my hesitations. And ever since, with many hundreds of reviews, dramatic readings, comic dubs, parody series, I've discovered just how much more capable I really am. To this day, I'm still learning how much more I can do with my talents. But it all came about because I was genuinely willing to seek out an answer. What life do I deserve? Thank you all for listening here today. There is so much more I could talk about with Agretzko Season 3, especially in regards to being in the limelight, whether it is working towards a dream or living in a fantasy. But I really felt the need to get at least some of my thoughts out there whilst they were still fresh in my mind. At the very least, I hope I've managed to convince a few of you out there to give this series a watch if you haven't already. And for any of you who have seen the latest episodes, I hope you'll share some of your experiences in the comments below. Because as always, I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Oh God, I'm pissed off. Let me tell you about the bad venture I just had. You know how sometimes you leave the house, it's like flipping a coin. You could have an adventure, but you could just as easily end up having a bad venture, and that's what I just had. It's a bad venture, it's a word that I invented. No one can steal it. Anyways, the point is, where do I even start? Just the daily rigmarole of having to get food every fucking day drives me nuts. Just having to feed this fucking carcass, this stupid human body, every single day. So I get in my car and I'm like, okay, this only needs to take 10 minutes. Just drive into the city, just get like a fucking Dairy Queen burger or something. Because I've always been of the opinion that Dairy Queen has deceptively good hot food. Or at least I thought. That opinion was challenged today, let me tell you, but I'm getting ahead of myself. But you know, you go to Dairy Queen sometimes in the summer, you go, hey, you know, I'll have ice cream, but then maybe I'll also have a burger. And then they give you a fucking, you know, their burgers are okay, I guess. Maybe they're not, I don't even know, I don't even care. The point is, I got in my car, and I'm driving into the city. And of course, it's one of those asshole small cities that only have one road down the whole fucking thing. Like the whole city is just one strip of food places down one fucking main highway road. And of course, because there's only one road, it's fucking busy at all hours of the day. There's traffic. You can't actually pull into anywhere you want. So I'm like, okay. I'm going into the city. I'm like, okay, fuck Dairy Queen. I don't want Dairy Queen. I want something that's better than that. So how about Tubby's? You know, Tubby's is a place they make like, like cheesesteak subs. I'm like, I'll get one of those fucking Tubby's. I pull in, of course, Tubby's is closed for some fucking reason, so I'm like, alright, you cocksucking sons of bitches. Of course you would be closed the one day I want fucking Tubby's, you motherfucking cocksuckers! So I fucking circle around in a circle out of there, and I get out of that one, and I get back on the road, and I'm driving, and of course all the stuff I want, all the good food is on the left, all the crap food is on the right. You know, you can't fucking turn left ever anywhere. It's a fucking pain in the ass. So I'm like passing by all the good food because I'm like, I can't turn in there. I can't turn in there. Eventually, I get all the way to the end of the road. I'm like, well, goddamn it. I went past every goddamn fast food place and I gotta go right and I gotta turn all the way around. I gotta circle around the whole city and get back on the road at the beginning again and start all over. So I get back on the road and I go, you know what, how about this time when I get on the road, instead I go over here to this chicken place. This Maryland chicken place. I don't know why it's called that. We ain't in Maryland, but anyways, this is a Maryland chicken place. And I'm always curious about it. I never get it. I always see it. I'm like, what is that, like KFC? I never get it. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get that. So I go and I pull in there. And it, like, I don't know, man. Something about the drive-thru was weirdly shaped. It was like a small, like, weird drive-through to where I didn't even know that I was in the drive-through part. By the time I was in it, I like whizzed right past the part where you give your order, the sign, and I'm like, did I just pass the fucking sign? Oh god. And there's people sitting out there at a picnic table watching me, so they know about the stupid thing I just did. So I'm like, well, god damn it, I can't back up or they'll see me and they'll laugh at me, so I gotta fucking pull out. I gotta pretend that I was just turning around or something, or I don't know. So I got get the fuck out of there. I can't get the fucking chicken. I can't do it now because those people at the picnic table are just sitting there, you know, with their slack-jawed faces just fucking staring like meerkats as people do. So fuck that. I ain't gonna have these motherfuckers stare at me while I fucking try to back up and get back in the place with the fucking thing and the menu and the sign. Fuck it, I'm out of here. So I just run the fuck out of there in my Flintstones car. I fucking smash my feet through the floor of my car and I fucking book it. Alright? So I'm getting the fuck out of there and now I'm back on the street. I can never go into the fucking chicken place again as long as those people are still sitting at the picnic table because they'll see me and I don't want to deal with that shit. I don't want their goddamn judgment. So anyways, I'm going and I'm like, god damn it, what do I want? I don't want to go, and I'm passing by everything again because it's still on the left, and I still don't want any of the garbage that's on the right side. You know, it's always the garbage on the convenient side that you don't want. All the food that you want is on the left side, of course. So I'm passing by everything again, and I'm realizing I'm gonna get all the way to the end of this fucking road again. I had to turn around. It's already been like 30 minutes at this point of this fucking excursion out into the world. You know, it was only supposed to take 10 minutes. I didn't want to be out all day. I left at 6. It's already fucking 6:30. So I'm like, god damn it. No, I'm just gonna pull in the next place I see. I don't care if it is on the left. So I get in the fucking suicide lane. That's what they call the middle lane, because you're committing suicide because it's scary, because there's cars coming at you. Anyways, I pull into fucking Dairy Queen. This is the first place I see. And I'm getting in there and I'm like, oh god. And as soon as I get into the Dairy Queen, I see that there's a fucking huge line wrapped all the way around the place. Almost. The line is almost like back out into the road. So, you know, you're getting in line and you're standing in the road basically. And there's cars coming at you trying to kill you. And the fucking parking lot there is too fucking small. You can't even get out of the line once you're in it. Like, once I realized the hell that I was in, I'm like, I gotta get out of this line. Fuck this. I gotta go somewhere else. This isn't worth it, this line. But I couldn't get out. The parking lot was too small. There was nowhere to fucking maneuver myself out of it. I was just in it now. I'm just stuck in it. The only way, you know, it's like that old saying, when you're going through hell, keep going. That's all you can do. The only way out is forward, man. So I'm just fucking, oh my god, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and it's been like 20 minutes in this fucking line, I swear to god. And I get to the fucking sign, and I'm like, I don't even know what I want. I was so focused on the line, I didn't even think about what I want. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just have like a burger or something, because, you know, I've always been of the opinion that Dairy Queen has deceptively good warm food. I know I already said that, but I meant to say it here. I said it earlier. It was a mistake. Forget that I said it earlier and just pretend that I'm only saying it here. You know, sometimes you get a burger. They get pretty good burgers, I guess, or so I thought. But I was in for a rude awakening, because I'm like, hey, Dairy Queen, give me oh, fuck, I don't know. Shit, what is all this? Oh, I don't know. Can I have chicken strips? So I got the chicken strips basket with like fries or something, I don't know, and then they're like, what do you want to drink? And I'm like, I don't want nothing to drink, but I guess I'll have an ice cream since I'm at Dairy Queen. I guess I'll have a DQ Blizzard at Dairy Queen. And they're like, why did you specify DQ Blizzard? We know it's DQ. You don't have to say DQ Blizzard. And I'm like, why are you criticizing me? Your job is to take my order. Shut up. And they're like, what flavor? And I'm like, I don't know. Oreo. Which wasn't the flavor I wanted. I said Oreo because when I was a kid and I used to get the DQ Blizzard, the Oreo Blizzard was my go-to. But as I'm sitting there staring at the sign, I'm seeing they've got new flavors and new kind of Blizzards. And I'm thinking, well, gee, maybe I'd like one of these new kind of Blizzards. But it was too late. I already said Oreo. And I wasn't going to go back and correct them because I didn't want to confuse them. And, you know, people who work at fast food are not the brightest. You know, you don't want to confuse them. So I'm like, oh, God, whatever. They're like, that'll be like 12 $60, you know, like $12 fucking dollars for this shit. This better be the best fucking chicken strip basket and Oreo Blizzard of all time. It wasn't. There's a spoiler warning for that. It fucking wasn't. But anyways, I'm sitting in the line some more now, because now it's a part of the line. Before, waiting in the line for 20 minutes, that was just the prelude to get to the sign. Now it's the sign is like an act break. You've still got to wait in line to get to the window now. And I'm waiting in line, and these two fat fucks in the car behind me, Mr. and Mrs. McFat, I see him fucking eyeballing me. Like, we make eye contact through, like, my side mirror and his front of his face. And I'm like, stop looking at me, you fat doofus. Ah, Christ, fat people, I tell ya, they deserve to die, all of them, no exceptions. So I'm sitting in there, and I finally get to the place, and I give him my fucking money, and she hands me a basket. But then the whole thing was, you know, I wanted to get the chicken in the first place, like a bucket of chicken, because I figured I'd be hungry later at night when everything's closed, right? That's why I wanted this fucking little box of chicken strips might fill me up now, but it's not going to make me full later when I'm hungry later in the nighttime when everything's fucking closed. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm realizing now that even with this box of chicken strips, I still gotta go back to the chicken place that I embarrassed myself in the first time. I gotta suck it up. I hope those fucking people aren't still there at the picnic table. I gotta go back to the fucking chicken place and pay even more money, even though I just got this goddamn box of chicken strips with the fucking bread. There's like 2 pieces of toast in it for some reason. Weird, like checker patterned Dairy Queen fat toast, and it's like, what is the point of toast in this? What is wrong with you? And there's fries, which I guess makes sense, but why the toast? I don't understand the toast at all. I took 2 bites of the toast, and I said, I don't want this. It feels wrong. It doesn't feel right. It feels like a crime against humanity. It's against God's way. And so I go to the fucking chicken place, and I'm like, and this time I pull into it correctly, thank God. And I'm like, hey, chicken place. And once I'm at the fucking thing, I realize I don't want to pay $20 for a whole bucket of chicken. That's what it costs, even for like just a small one, the 8-piece. It's like $20. I'm like, fuck that. I'll just get like a chicken sandwich. I'll just get like a barbecue chicken sandwich. Fuck it. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, we're out of barbecue chicken sandwiches. Well, I'm like, well, Jesus Christ. I guess I'll have an 8-piece bucket then. And they're like, excuse me, what did you say? And I'm like, I said 8-piece bucket. And they're like, I'm sorry, what was that? And I'm like, I said 8-piece bucket. It's not a complicated order. You're a fucking chicken place. The whole point of you is to sell people the 8-piece bucket. That's like the primary thing on your menu there. What the fuck do you think I said? And she goes, I'm really sorry. I didn't get that again. Can you say that again a little bit louder? And I'm like, well, Jesus fucking Christ, lady! What do you got, wax in your ears? I said, give me the 8-piece bucket! And it better have... and it better have a lot of white meat in it. Breasts is the only good part. I don't want to take it home and open it up and there's a bunch of goddamn worthless thighs and wings like it always is, you fucking con artists. You better give me at least fucking 4 of the... Ugh. Oh, I got the hiccups. I'm so mad. You better give me a bucket with 8 pieces. And I swear to God, at least, at least 4 of those 8 pieces better be breasts, because that's the only part of the chicken I like. All the other parts, the dark meat is disgusting. It's just greasy and fucking gross, and I don't like it. Only the breasts are good. Even legs are overrated. I don't like legs even. Just give me a bucket of all breasts, you cunt. But of course, if you ask for that, they act like you're asking them to fucking sell their firstborn child to Rumpelstiltskin. What? Well, I never. You can't just order a bunch of breasts in a bucket. You've got to have legs and thighs and wings. That's the rules. We don't want to give you all the breasts because they're the most valuable part of the chicken, and we know it, everyone knows it, we just want to hoard it all to ourselves. So no one gets more than fucking 2 breasts per bucket if you're lucky. I go, you fucking pieces of shit. You Nazis. You goddamn communists. You communist Nazis. So then I get past the sign, and then I'm waiting in the line again, and again. It's another long-ass fucking line. It was a fucking 45-minute line at Dairy Queen, and now it's another fucking 45-minute line at this goddamn chicken place. It's like, what the fuck? Don't all these fat asses have something better to do in their life than take up space in the fucking line at the food place? You know, like, I know that I'm only out here out of necessity. Like, I need food. I wanted it to be a quick thing. I didn't want it to be a whole ordeal. And I'm just trying to get food and go home and, you know, but for all I know, the rest of these people are out here on a goddamn lark. They're just out here having a good time, just goofing off in all the fucking drive-thrus, just making lines, taking up space, because that's what other people love to do. Other people besides me have no lives and have no right to live and don't do anything with their lives. They only exist to get in my fucking way and impede my progress in this fucking world. And waste my time. I'm the only fucking human being that matters. The rest of you should just fucking die. And no matter how many times I keep saying that, no matter how many times I put it out there into the world, it's like no one listens. Because none of you ever die. If anything, you multiply. You take up space forever, and then you have kids, and you take up more space, and then you get fatter and fatter, and you take up more space. I'm over here trying to be healthy, trying to fucking, you know, trying to work out and take up less space, you know? Or at least I was before the fucking, you know, the whole lockdown shit, and now the gym's closed and I just gotta be a fat ass again, which is why I ended up back here with the rest of you fucking McFats! Mr. and Mrs. McFat, you followed me from the Dairy Queen all the way to the chicken place! Why are you getting Dairy Queen and then chicken? That's too much food! I know why I'm doing it! I have my reasons! And my reasons are good and just and noble and they make sense. I don't know about your reasons, lady. You and your fat husband. I don't believe that you have a good reason. I think you're just fucking going to 2 places just because you're a couple of fat asses and no other reason. So fuck you. Anyways, I'm waiting in line at this Maryland chicken place establishment for fucking, I don't know, like 17 hours or something like that. I don't know. It's fucking 8 p.m. at this point, you know. I left at 6. Now it's 8. I was only supposed to be gone for, this was only supposed to be a 10-minute thing, you know. Just go to Tubby's but no, Tubby's had to be closed. Because God hates me and only me. The whole entire world is just set up to be a prank on me. So I get up there and she takes my card and she takes my $20 that I didn't even want to spend. Oh, and here's the other thing I forgot to even mention. So while I'm sitting in this Maryland chicken line for fucking 19 years, you know, I'm bored in the line, so I get into my chicken strip box and I start munching on my Dairy Queen chicken strips. And first of all, these are the shortest fucking chicken strips I've ever seen. You know, there's chicken strips in here that I swear to God are about like, you know, one less centimeter long and they would be nuggets. They're basically nuggets, you know, half of them are short like that. Not what I wanted, not strip size, not enough bang for my buck, I'll tell you that. Half of them are short fucking nugget strips. And the other half are just like mutated fucking weird shaped. I don't know. It angered me is the point. And anyways, I'm fucking munching and I'm crunching and I'm biting into them. And they suck. And they taste like shit. And the fries taste like shit. And like I said, there's 2 pieces of fat toast in there. And I don't know what that's about. That pisses me off. So I'm just sitting there, and by the time I was out of this line, I had eaten every goddamn chicken strip in that box, and it sucked, and it was underwhelming, and it wasn't satisfying, and it sucked, and it fucking sucked, and I hated it, and it fucking sucked. Oh, and also, while I was munching and crunching on my chicken strips, a bunch of crunchy chicken strip flakes fell off the chicken strips into my fucking DQ Blizzard. And I'm like, well, that's disgusting. And it sounds like it shouldn't be as disgusting or off-putting as it is. Because I know you're listening and you're thinking, oh, who cares? It's just a little piece of chicken. I mean, it's your chicken and it's your DQ Blizzard. What's the fucking big deal? You know, it's just a little piece, just fucking... Well, I don't know. I can't explain it, but it was fucking off-putting. It made me sad. And it gave me anxiety. And I'm like, I can't eat this shit now. I can't eat this DQ Blizzard. It's been tainted. There's bits of chicken floating in it. That's gross. I don't want to be, you know, slurping on my ice cream spoon. And all of a sudden there's like a crunchy bit in there and it's chicken that I forgot about or I didn't see and I didn't get it out of there in time. And I'm like, ew, it ruins the texture of the whole thing. And it's gross. And you know how sometimes when two foods accidentally mix and you think it's good, like some people like to put their fries in the ice cream and like, ooh, that's good. Fries in my ice cream. That's it. I invented that. Everybody thinks they invented it. You know, every girl you've ever dated in your fucking life. You take her to Dairy Queen and she's like, look at this thing I invented. Oh my God. I'm so weird. I'm not like other girls. I put my French fries in my ice cream. Oh my God. And you're sitting there with your highly complex man brain just totally unimpressed. Like, you didn't invent that, bitch. You did not invent. Everybody, every chick I've ever seen in my fucking life does that. Get out of here. No second date. Anyways, I get to the window and she takes $20 fucking from me and I'm thinking, you know, for $20 fucking, this better be the best goddamn chicken I've ever tasted in my life. For 20 fucking bucks for an 8-piece bucket of fried chicken, this better be such good fried chicken it turns me black. And not even like a regular black guy. I mean like a blatantly racist 1950s television black. I better transform into that as soon as this fucking chicken touches my lips. That's how good this fucking chicken better be for the price that I paid for it. You understand? It better be so good it turns me black. Spoiler alert, it didn't. I'm still white, I still can't jump, and I'm still pissed off about it. So altogether, I spent like $35 fucking, you know? It was like 12 something, and then it was 20 something, and there's tax. I don't know. You know, 30, 35. I don't know the exact estimate, but you know, regardless, it was too fucking much. This wasn't supposed to be a whole ordeal, man. So I get it home, and I open the chicken box, and I start looking at it, and of course, how many breasts do you think is in that fucking box of chicken? Go ahead and guess. One! One breast in the whole box, and the rest are fucking legs. There's like 2 legs, there's like 1 wing, and there's like 11 thighs. 11 worthless, disgusting, greasy thighs. Nothing sucks more than the thighs. At least the legs are tolerable. I don't like them as much, but at least I can handle them. I can deal with them, man. 1 breast. What a fucking ripoff. And of course, they got the sides in there. There's macaroni. There's beans. You know what there isn't? A fucking fork! Or a spoon, or even a spork. There's nothing. They didn't even give me anything to eat that shit with. So I ended up not even touching the macaroni and the beans. What, am I gonna open them and eat them with my hands like a prisoner? Or fucking drink them? Am I gonna drink macaroni and beans out of the big styrofoam cups? No, that's uncivilized. It'd get all in my facial hair. And I'd feel like a bad person. For some reason. I don't know why, but I would. So I open this thing. You know, there's no fucking spoons or forks or sporks for my sides. There's no fucking breasts. I mean, there's 1 breast, but in hindsight, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not even really sure it was a breast. It could have just been a big thigh. I don't know. I couldn't focus on how it tasted
Improvement, darling.
or the fucking texture of it, because all I could focus on while I was eating it was the fucking grease. Oh my god, the grease on this shit. This was the greasiest fucking chicken I've ever seen in my life. Don't go to Maryland chicken. At the very least, I've solved this dilemma for all time. I hope I'm never curious about Maryland chicken again. I hope I never fall for it again. I hope I fucking understand now, and I hope I remember this. I hope I'm not, years from now like, ooh, Maryland chicken, I wonder if that's good. No, I'm making a mental note. I'm recording this right now, and I'm putting it in the fucking vault. I'm saying it I'm in outer space. It's gonna be in the archive of all human knowledge, so no one ever makes this mistake again. Don't go there, it's not good. It's greasy and gross, and they didn't give me a fork for my sides. They didn't even, you know what else they didn't give me for this greasy fucking chicken? Oh, this is really gonna blow your fucking mind. Napkins! They didn't give me any napkins!
It's an improvement,
How
darling.
are you gonna make chicken this greasy and not even include napkins in the fucking bag? What is wrong with you people? Oh, I hate you. I hate you. So I'm just sitting there angrily, sadly eating my greasy chicken, feeling bad. It's all over my hands. You know that feeling when the grease is all over your hands? It's fucking disgusting, man. I hate it. Oh my god. It took fucking hours, this ordeal. So now I'm unsatisfied and I just have all this food. I paid 30 fucking bucks for all this food. Oh god. So then I just sat there and I watched Family Guy, and I yelled at the screen like, "Oh, Peter Griffin, you're so funny, oh!" Because sometimes I just have to yell. It's the only thing that makes me feel better. I like to yell and I like to scream. Give me a fucking break. Quit judging me. I like to yell and I like to scream. God damn it, that's gonna be my fucking, we need representation for people like me who like to yell and I like to scream. I'm not crazy. I'm not a fucking maniac. I just like to yell and I like to scream. It's fun and it's funny and it blows off steam. I like to yell and I like to scream. It's fun and it's funny and it blows off steam. That's my fucking motto. That's my presidential platform. That's what I'm gonna save this country on. I'm gonna make this country a better place, a safe place for people who like to yell and scream without being fucking judged for it. God damn it! Fuck! Oh, God! I'm so fucking horny! That's the point of all this. That's what all this is really about.